All right, hi fourth graders. All right, let me open my agenda here. Go ahead, make sure you have yours open. All right, today is the 7th. It is a Wednesday. And we didn't have any extra things going on today, just a regular day. But if you look next Thursday, or not next Thursday, but this Thursday and Friday, on Thursday we have a math lesson that we need some toothpicks for. So make sure you have your toothpicks. And then Friday, we have a reading Unit 5 test and a CFA for math on perimeter and area. All right, so Thursday, tomorrow, make sure you got your toothpicks ready to go. This morning we started talking, or all week we've been talking about robotics, and so today we were talking about careers in robotics, what it's like to have a job, and what a typical day would be like. So there's some videos here that you can watch and get a glimpse into that life if that was your career in the future. For math today we went to 12.4, and that is on page 429. And let me share that here. So we did number 8 and 9 on this page. So let's see, there we go. All right, so number 8 says that we have Nancy and Luke, and they are making some plans because they are going to make some rectangular flower gardens. And so for Nancy's plan, she's going to make hers an 18 by 12 foot one. And then her buddy Luke is making one as well. And his is a square, and it's a 15 by 15. We want to know who drew the garden plan with the greater area, and then what is the area. So we went ahead, we drew it out in our notebook. So here's Nancy, 18 by 12. Here's Luke, a 15 by 15. And I didn't draw that. It should be, since they're the same, they should be a square. But anyways, 15 by 15. And then we use that formula, area equals length times width. We found Nancy. Okay, we multiplied 12 times 18. So we just filled in her length and her width and multiplied those together. Then we found Luke. So we did that part in our notebook. So go ahead, pause and take a video, or take a pause, and so you can see this on the video. Make sure you get this top part, pause, make sure that gets into your notebook. And then here is just where we recorded. So we went ahead, chose our answer. We said that Luke had the larger, because his was 225 feet versus Nancy's 216. So his was larger. And then we had to be careful not to choose A, because A said 205. That wasn't the right area. It was the 225. So the formula we used was area equals length times width. We wrote it in square feet because we're talking about feet up here. And then the steps that we took to multiply, and then the areas. We said that Luke has the greater area, and then we filled in our bubble for that. Number 9 right here. This one is using a diagram. So we took the information that it gave us and we plugged it in. So it says the length of one of these squares is 4 feet. So we did 4 times 8 to get 32. So this whole side is 32 feet. And then 4 times 3 to get 12. We multiplied those together and got the area for that one. Then make sure, as you go through this, make sure you're stopping once you finish a page and uploading your photo. So if you go to activities and you go down to week 30 math, area and perimeter, open up your draft. And each day you need to be showing photos, and then your independent work needs to have a photo and your answers. And then Tuesday was making the multiplication chart, because we're doing lots of multiplication, so you can use that as a reference. Here's my photo. So here's my photo from right here. So here's my photo from that page. Here's my notebook. And then this other one is the back page. And then while I'm here, let me go ahead and show this is the independent work. So you're going to go to Wednesday, page 432. You're typing either A, B, C, or D. And then I want to see your evidence of your work here. So please don't just show me a photo of you bubbling in your answer. I'll see your answers over here. I want to see your multiplication. Okay, so do not use a calculator. I want to see the worked out problems. So there are 6 of them, so I should see 6 multiplication problems since we're finding area. Once you're done, please hit draft so you can save your work. All right, on the next page, over here, we did numbers 11 and 12. So number 11, this one was, it had the shape already drawn for us. So we've got a bedroom floor, and if we're talking about the floor, we're talking about this whole space inside. So we need to find the area. So length times width, 5 times 3 is 15, so 15 square feet. Down here, Miss Jenkins is buying tile for her kitchen floor. Again, if it's the floor, it's this whole inside part. So it measures 17 by 12. This one did not give us the shape, so we went ahead and drew it in, added the dimensions that it gave us, used the formula, multiplied it out, and got 204 square feet. So make sure you work out that problem in your book. I want to see the multiplication. You practicing multiplying those, especially those 2-digit by 2-digit numbers, and putting that in there. And then just flip the page, and that is your independent work there. All right, that is what we did for math. In small group, we were working on angles, and then later in the day, we also finished with a Kahoot on angles. And then, let's see, agenda. All right, that was math. Where am I? Yellow. All right, going down. All right, in reading today, we read aloud chapters, chapter 3. So we did the dictionary detective, the vocabulary study, and this is all in here. So go down to classwork, find book club, find the part that says Fudgemania section 1. And when you click on this and you open it, you need to open it right here. Click open with Google Slides. Once you do that, then this is what pops up. We changed the title. We put our last name, the title of the book, and then chapters 1 through 4. Sorry, actually, I did this wrong. 1 through 3, right? All right, so 1 through 3. And the first part is all about summary. So just after you've read those chapters, what's the summary of the book? So it breaks it down with some questions there. Or sorry, that was page 5. I'm going to go backwards. Here, more comprehension questions about the story. And then on page 3, actually, let me start at the top. All right. Scratch that. Start over. All right. Sections that are in blue, you type. So you have some vocabulary that are within those chapters 1 through 3. And so you're adding your definition. So I want you to use, if you have a dictionary, a paper one, or a hardback one, please look that up and practice using the dictionary and looking up those. If not, you could go to dictionary.com and add the definition there. Then in this page, on page 3, you're applying the words. So you need to use those definitions that you found, and here you're matching it with the definition, and then here you're putting it in a sentence and using it correctly. Then there's those comprehension questions. Okay, so then that's the end of section 1. And then again, make sure you change that title. Then we will finish that up tomorrow, so make sure you get it started today. And then, where am I trying to go? Right here. If you need to be refreshed of the chapters, if you do not have your own copy of the book, I am recording the chapters here. So here's chapters 1 and 2. Let me change this title. I'm going to put read aloud so you know it's the read aloud. I will put the chapter that we read today, chapter 3. I will put that on here as well. So I'll record that after I do this one here. So when you see read aloud, know that, okay, you can go here and you can hear the story if there was something that you missed. Alrighty, moving on. In writing today, we went over a well-respected author, so students had a chance to make corrections on that and ask questions if needed. And we reviewed the difference between a common and proper noun. So if it's a common noun like school, dog, house, chair, girl, boy, all of those are not specific. If I just say girl, I don't know which girl I'm talking about. If I just say school, I don't, what school am I talking about? Box Run? Am I talking about Longs Creek? What school am I talking about? And so common nouns do not get a capital letter unless they are at the beginning of a sentence. Then a proper noun, those are the ones that are listing those specific things. So if I say Miss Snyder, that's a specific name. So if I just say, woman, that's not, versus Miss Snyder, that would be. Fox Run is a specific school, so that would be capitalized versus school. I could be talking about a number of different schools. So a well-respected author is talking about the questions have to do with capitalization. So review those rules. If you missed a couple of them, I sent out a video that reviews it as well just look at the comments and look over that and get that corrected and turned in. And then we did this funny picture writing prompts, which is in Seesaw. So if you go to your activities right here, so you have different animal things. You've got this guy on the chicken, giraffe and the lion, shark, squirrel, meerkats, hamster maybe, gerbil, and dinosaur. So we picked one, wrote a funny story to go with it, and shared. You don't have to do all of these. We're going to do it. If you look on the agenda, we're going to write on Thursday and Friday. So we'll have some just some fun writing this week after STAR testing. And so we'll do a total of 3. So don't feel like you have to do all of those. Just pick 3. And then we'll do one each day. Then in science today, we did this virtual lab. So if you go up here to Wednesday Science Mixtures and Solutions, click on this website. Okay, hit get started. So we did the first couple challenges together. So up on the top, it tells you what the mixture is. So this one's got iron filings, fine grained sand, and salt. So if you click on a tool and you put it in here and hit submit, it'll tell you if you're correct or not. So you want to do it in a correct order. So think about the properties that the mixture has. So for the iron filings, I knew that because it's iron, that the magnet is going to be attracted to that. Then I've got the sand and the salt. So I'm going to click next. And then if you pick the wrong thing, like let's say I pick this dish, I submit it, it comes up with an X. So it says right here, to use this tool, you need to add something to the mixture first. Try again. So then you just go and you try something else and submit it, and then it'll tell you if you're correct or not. So to separate the sand and salt, you must first add water, because what's going to happen is that salt is going to dissolve in the water, and then now you've got that sand. You can see the sand is separated. So then you go on to the next step, and let's say I use a coffee filter. The filter is going to remove the sand, so now I've got just salt and water. You go to the next step, so you're slowly separating these and removing these items. Next, I know if it's salt water, I can take an evaporation dish and I can evaporate the water, and then that will be removing the salt, because once the water evaporates, the tray will just be left with the salt and I can take that out. So you go to the next challenge and you follow through the whole thing, the same thing. So here's lentils, pepper, and salt. And so you go through adding the different tools. And as you're picking the different tools, I want you thinking about, all right, what are those properties that are going to help me pick the right tool? So like if there's nothing in here that's magnetic, I'm not going to pick the magnet. If I need that salt in here to dissolve in the water, I have to think about those different properties. So go through the different challenges and then come back here to the agenda. And so we didn't actually, let me take this part off because we didn't put it in our notebook. All right, then I know what we did put, sorry, let me take that back because I was thinking of something on Monday. We did put something in our notebook. All right, so we were observing our little friends, and I'll have to grab them over here. And so we have been making some observations, and we're not officially in our life cycle unit yet. We're still talking about properties, but I wanted to go ahead because we had some changes. So as soon as I'm seeing some things change, I am showing everybody. So the eggs on here, you can't see the eggs. They're so tiny. They're super tiny. We would need a magnifying glass. So those are pretty hard to see, and they're the same color as the oatmeal, which is what they eat. And so it's almost impossible to see the eggs, but they are definitely in there. Once we get our adult, they will be all over the place. So then once they hatch out of their egg, they are a mealworm. And the mealworm, these guys start off really small. You can see this one moving around. He's looking for food, looking for water. So these guys are mealworms, and you can see this, his eyes up at the front and all his legs. He's got legs only, let me turn him over here. He's got legs only in the front. Okay, he's got 2, 4, 6 legs right there in the front. I know it's kind of hard to see. And then the rest of back of his body is just round, kind of like a cylinder shape, I guess. And so these little guys, they get water from the potato, so they'll get out all the water from the potato, and then they keep growing and growing and growing. And as they grow, they shed their skin. So here's some. Let me see if I can focus this a little better. Woo! Hold on, let it focus. I may have made it worse. All right, focus. All right, let me see. So they shed their skin, so you can see in here little pieces of their exoskeleton that as they get bigger and bigger, that sheds, and they'll actually eat it. And then these are the pupa. And so sometimes we saw the mealworms and they were looking kind of dead. They weren't really moving around much. and they were getting busy to change. So think of this like the butterfly's cocoon. This is the pupa stage, so we added that, and we drew that in. You can see where those legs are. You can see their eyes in there. And then we are to be continued. So there's one more stage in this life cycle that we're waiting to see. So we will be seeing that shortly. So we'll keep making observations. So this is a to be continued. All right, so we did add that to our notebook. We will definitely revisit that. So make sure you have that in there. Then going down, going down. All right, so in social studies today, we were talking about, let me open this. All right, so we've been talking about cultures. So you have Monday, you should have Monday completed. Tuesday was stars, so there was nothing there. Wednesday, all right, one state, many cultures. So you have question 3, 4, 5, and 6. So please click on your article and you can read and follow along there. You also have I jumped ahead to this cultural groups. There's 2 videos here, but you can go ahead and peek at this from tomorrow, talking about different groups in Texas. So the reason I went ahead is because we're working on this activity here. It says Social Studies Week 30, and this here. It says, think about the music, clothing, food, values, beliefs, language, and so on that make up your culture. Add images and representations here that represent you and your family. So you were to go in and start working on that. And if you look here in the agenda, you can see these visual representations. So this is what I want you. So food, clothing, dances, dancing, music. These are different things. So if you were to just say, what this article of clothing is called, I may not know what you're talking about. But when I see it, it's much easier to visualize. So on this page right here, this blank page, you're going to fill it up like a collage. So if you look on the first page of your social studies, all of this right here is a collage of different photos. You've got different photos that make up this collage. So see how they're overlapping and things like that. You are going to do that on yours. Then, all right. Then for intervention, like I said, we played the game, the Kahoot game where we were reviewing angles. Alrighty, and let me double check. I think that was everything. All right, yep. All right, you guys had music today, so make sure you finished your music assignment and got all that completed. And I will see you guys tomorrow.